I intend to make my own way in the world.
No one makes their own way, least of all a woman.
If you've read Louisa May Alcott's Little Women or seen one of the adaptations, no doubt you wondered at some point which March sister you'd be. Until recently, audiences would have overwhelmingly wanted to be Jo.
I scorched my dress, see? There.
I have an idea of how we can manage.
She's been far and away the most popular March sister since the story was written, cast in a favorable light in both the novel and the 1994 film.
Revenge is mine, quoth he. Excellent. You ought to publish it, Jo, really.
But Greta Gerwig's 2019 adaptation, Little Women, makes a conscious effort to do justice to all 4 of the March sisters' personalities and choices.
Just because my dreams are different than yours doesn't mean they're unimportant.
According to Saoirse Ronan, who plays Jo, these 4 very different characters all allow a young girl to see themselves. So there's no better time to look at how each of these 4 impressive little women represents a path in life that modern audiences can still take inspiration from. Here's our take on which March sister you'd be.
This is Meg, Amy, Beth, and Jo.
This video is sponsored by Audible, the largest selection of audiobooks on the planet. Follow our link, audible.com/thetake, or text The Take to 500-500 to start listening with a 30-day Audible trial. We know you came to find out whether you're still a Jo, right? Don't worry, we've got you covered. You're a Jo if you're a nonconformist.
But I want to do something different. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm on the watch for it.
You might be a tomboy and are probably not interested in presenting a traditionally feminine appearance.
I'm sorry, Meg always makes me take the feminist part at home. It's a shame you don't know the ladies' part.
As Gerwig told Vanity Fair, Jo is a girl with a boy's name, Laurie is a boy with a girl's name. In some ways, they are each other's twins. They find each other before they've committed to a gender. And it wouldn't be wrong to call Saoirse handsome and Timothy beautiful. Both have a slightly androgynous quality that makes them perfect for these characters.
It's my grandfather. Are you scared of him?
No, I'm not scared of anyone. He looks stern, but my grandfather was much more handsome.
Jo, we do not compare grandfathers.
Whether you're a writer or another creative of some kind, you're consumed with a desire to express yourself and have a voice.
I'm working on a novel. It is a story of my life and my sister's.
You're hardworking, ambitious, and willing to give up everything else for your dreams. Jo wants to be a writer more than anything in the world, even if that means sacrificing a good deal of other happiness.
You want to be the happiest boy in the world.
Oh, well, a fellow can't live on books alone.
I could.
You have a temper. And might say things you regret when you're mad.
When I get in a passion, I get so savage I could hurt anyone, and I'd enjoy it.
You're a feminist.
Women, they have minds, and they have souls, as well as just hearts. And they've got ambition, and they've got talent, as well as just beauty.
Your ambitions aren't just for yourself. It matters to you that other women also get the chance to live out their full potential.
I'm so sick of people saying that love is just all a woman is fit for. I'm so sick of it.
You're determined, to the point of appearing fearless to others. But privately, you sometimes have doubts.
I'm so lonely.
You might not be interested in getting married. At all.
Why must we marry at all? Why can't things just stay as they are?
Louisa May Alcott never married herself, but became a rich and famous author who didn't need a man to support her. This is also the fate Alcott wanted for the character who stands in for her in this semi-autobiographical story.
It would be a disaster if we
It
married,
wouldn't be a
okay?
disaster.
And that's why she refused to marry Jo to fan favorite Laurie.
I'd hate elegant society, you'd hate my scribbling, and we would be unhappy, and we'd wish we hadn't done it, and everything would be horrid.
But Alcott's publisher pressured Alcott to give Jo a husband, and the author compromised with a less conventional match, the older Professor Bear. Gerwig's movie nods to this meta-story by having Jo face the same pressure for her fictional alter ego.
And if the main character is a girl, make sure she's married by the end.
Alcott later regretted her ending. She wrote, Jo should have remained a literary spinster.
It's the book. The happy ending is the book. I think there aren't enough movie romances between women in their books.
If you're a Joe today, you might be queer. Some believe Alcott herself was gay.
Being born a girl is the most disappointing thing that ever happened to me.
She once said in an interview, "I am more than half persuaded that I am a man's soul, put by some freak of nature into a woman's body. I have fallen in love in my life with so many pretty girls and never once the least bit with any man."
You'll need to marry well.
But you are not married, Aunt Marge.
Well, that's because I'm rich.
So you're a Joe if you're willing to totally flout convention to prioritize what you want to achieve.
There are some natures too noble to curb and too lofty to bend.
As compelling as we might find Little Women's heroine, most of us don't fit that description of the totally uncompromising rebel who doesn't care what society thinks of her. So now, let's talk about Amy. Little Women fans through the years have traditionally looked down on the youngest March sister.
I'm Amy!
Writing her off as a vain, shallow little brat.
I remember my gran looking up from the book and going, what a wicked, wicked girl. And I just remember thinking how excited she was. I was like, well, clearly Amy's the one to get behind.
In the book and the 1994 film, beginning the story when Amy is a young, immature girl biases many people against her.
I'm exhausted of being the boy.
You're too little to be Lady Violet. Here, be the Countess de Montenescu.
You don't have any lines.
But Gerwig's film undoes this partiality by starting with these women as adults and intercutting with flashbacks to their childhood identities. So even though we do see Florence Pugh's Amy acting self-indulgent as a girl,
but I can never go home again because I'm in such trouble. Look!
we get more time with developed adult Amy, and this helps us respect and relate more to the character's point of view.
I want to be great or nothing.
Amy is actually a lot like Joe in key ways. Both are assertive and uncompromising. Both can be impulsive and hot-headed.
You'll be sorry for this, Joe March.
Both are very ambitious artists.
I want to be an artist in Rome and be the best painter in the world.
That's what you want too, isn't it, Joe, to be a famous writer?
Yes, but it sounds so crass when she says it.
And both are seriously talented. Apparently, the Alcott sister Amy was based on, even exhibited her paintings in Paris and London. The main thing that truly distinguishes these two sisters is that Amy is pragmatic.
Well, I believe we have some power over who we love. It isn't something that just happens to a person.
After beginning as a dreamy romantic, Amy grows up into a realist.
Well, I'm not a poet. I'm just a woman.
Joe and Amy want the same thing, to make art and live a beautiful, stimulating life. The key difference is how they go after this goal. Joe is determined to make her living as a writer, while Amy plans to make a life through marrying someone with money.
Wait till I'm a writer. I'll buy you the best piano in creation.
If she doesn't, you can come over and play mine. When I marry, I'm going to be disgustingly rich.
In Amy's eyes, this practical strategy is a far more effective way to provide for her family and continue her art.
And as a woman, there's no way for me to make my own money. Not enough to earn a living or to support my family.
So whereas Joe willfully ignores her society's rules, Amy believes it's smarter to play within them.
So don't sit there and tell me that marriage isn't an economic proposition, because it is.
A Slytherin to Joe's Gryffindor, she does what it takes to get the things that were initially promised to Joe: the trip to Europe, a life with Laurie, and the audience's wish fulfillment.
Joe is a lost cause, so you are your family's hope now.
She's the only March sister to end up rich, happily in love, and practicing her art. Frankly, many of us might readily choose Amy's life over Joe's. So to sum up, you're an Amy if you're successful and always knew you would be.
I've always known I would marry rich. Why should I be ashamed of that?
You enjoy girly stuff like dressing up.
Oh, Laurie, how lovely.
It isn't what it should be, but you have improved it.
You're more traditionally feminine than your sister, and there's nothing wrong with that. Joe may not care about the perfect wedding with the perfect guy, but Amy does want that, just like countless readers and viewers.
But doesn't Laurie just seem so romantic? He's half Italian.
As a young person, you might be a little spoiled.
I wish all the girls would leave his horrible school and that he would die.
Amy, you did wrong, and there will be consequences.
I didn't even do anything. I just did a drawing.
But for the most part, you grow out of this. You're moved by aesthetics. Amy's most typically maligned qualities, her vanity and desire for nice things,
I would have never have sprained my ankle. I have lovely small feet, the best in the family.
come from her artist's love of beauty. As Alcott wrote of her real-life sister in 1854, she is so graceful and pretty and loves beauty so much, it is hard for her to be poor and wear other people's ugly things. You're cosmopolitan, cultured, and you take pleasure in the luxuries your lifestyle has to offer you.
Tell the servants I want this painting purchased for me immediately.
You understand how the world works and make the most of it. You know what you want and demand a life that lives up to your dreams.
As Amy once said when she was still a little girl, we'll all grow up someday. We might as well know what we want.
True, most women can't have it all, but you see yourself as the exception.
I do not wish to be courted by someone who is still in love with my sister.
You're a Beth, if you're a total sweetheart.
Beth is perfect.
You're a good citizen. You get your life purpose from giving help to those who need it. Your job probably involves caring for people, and maybe a modern Beth would even embrace activism, but nothing too confrontational. You're selfless.
Beth, what's your Christmas wish? I'd like the war to end so Father can come home. Sweet Beth.
This is Beth's greatest strength and her fatal flaw. She always puts others' needs first, as we see when she goes to help the poor family that has scarlet fever. But Beth's altruism gets her sick, and when this happens, she doesn't even want to bother Amy for fear her sister would come home to see her.
I was never like the rest of you, making plans about the great things I do.
This extreme self-sacrifice can be detrimental. Even in Little Women's time, this character took submissiveness a little too far.
I never saw myself as anything much.
So if you're a Beth, it's important to make things about yourself every once in a while.
Beth would adore the piano.
Is she the quiet one?
Yes, that's our Beth.
You're the peacekeeper. You don't care about being right or winning an argument. You stay out of the spotlight, and you're shy with people you don't know.
Beth is a shy girl.
You sometimes wish you were braver.
Boys scare me, and that big old house scares me.
But you have a close-knit group of loved ones you open up to. All you need is your family.
My wish is to have us all to be together.
And your piano.
Here. Sit here, child. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You're content without pushing for a lot more than you have. Maybe you should be more assertive and ask for more, but this total inner peace is also what makes you an angel on earth. You're a Meg if you feel your life's purpose is to be a wife and mother.
I want a home and a family.
The ideal little woman of her times, Meg dreams of being a homemaker, which is exactly what her society encourages. But for Meg, getting married and being a mom is being true to her authentic self.
You should be an actress and you should have a life on the stage.
Just because my dreams are different than yours doesn't mean they're unimportant.
Many women to this day feel exactly the same, and Gerwig's film sends the message that even if the popular narrative has shifted towards glorifying Joe's independence over Meg's family life,
Don't leave. You'll be bored of him in 2 years, and we will be interesting forever.
neither choice is better than the other. The point is about owning whatever you really want. You're pretty, and this may have gone to your head a little. Meg is vain.
I can't go out like this.
You don't have the backbone of a Joe or an Amy. Meg can be too easily swayed by others' opinions or external pressures.
I was only playing a part to see how it felt to be Belle Gardner with 4 proposals and 20 pairs of gloves.
You long for a materially comfortable lifestyle. Like Amy, Meg is attracted to luxury and elite circumstances. This is partly because as the eldest sister, she can remember a time when the family wasn't poor and has seen the difference money makes.
I shouldn't mind living in such a fine house and having nice things. Oh, it doesn't seem like Christmas this year without presents.
But unlike Amy, Meg still puts her heart above these concerns when she falls for a man who's not rich.
I'm fond of Mr. Brooke. He's a good man. He's kind and serious, and I'm not afraid of being poor.
In our modern times, Meg would probably want to be a stay-at-home mom, but she might have to work to bring in enough income. So if you're a Meg, you might sometimes crave more excitement and money in the bank, but overall, you're fulfilled by being a domestic goddess. Gerwig has said she wanted to emphasize that all of the March sisters are very impressive, so really being like any of these characters is a worthy goal.
I have always known I should be part of the March family.
All four are staunchly feminist, love each other dearly, and complement each other to create a harmonious family.
My girls have a way of getting into mischief.
The world needs Jo's, Amy's, Meg's, and Beth's, and more. No matter who you are, Little Women teaches you to love yourself, live your truth, and follow whichever dream is yours.
I think what's really special about this is that everyone has their moment to go like, this is who I am, this is why I am the way I am. I am this March sister.
This video is brought to you by Audible, the best audiobook service out there, with the widest selection of audiobooks, period. One great audiobook you can check out right now on Audible is 3 Women by Lisa Taddeo. The New York Times bestseller condenses 8 years of reporting and 6 cross-country drives to which Lisa embeds herself with ordinary women from different regions and backgrounds. 3 Women is heralded as the deepest nonfiction portrait of desire ever written. Audible members get to choose 3 titles every month, 1 audiobook and 2 Audible originals that you can't find anywhere else, and your unused credits roll over to the next month. Plus, you own your audiobooks, so you can go back and listen anytime, even if you cancel your membership. So start growing your digital library on Audible today. Just click the link in the description below, audible.com/thetake, or text the take to 500-500 to sign up now.